to the Purple Podcast. My name is Austin Iser. I am your host. All right. We're now on to episode 12 of the Purple Podcast. Thank you to all those who listen at home and enjoy. And all those people who have actually brought it up to me in public, that's been kind of, I guess, cool. I appreciate that. Keep doing that shit. That's nice. But anyways, it has been a little bit since my last episode. Shit's just kind of been going on. Working still, of course. Got to keep that cheese coming in. But other than that, just cold weather, taking it easy. I just got back from the gym probably about an hour ago. Just hanging out, getting kind of in a routine. It's been all right. It's not my favorite time. But we got a glimpse of spring, I guess, today. It's probably about 50, 60 degrees. But I think we're about to get like an inch of ice within the next couple days. So what is it? It's February 1st, Tuesday, February 1st at the moment. I don't know when you're tuning in. But yeah, I guess that's going on. That's where we're at right now. Just got back from conference championship week. Wild one. It's been a lot of sporting things going on, and I think that's kind of going to be what this one is more related to. Just sports, everything that's going on. Some pretty wild stories coming out at this point in time as the NFL season wraps up, and we kind of get more back into college basketball, which is it's an exciting time in itself, but. I feel like I can never really commit to college basketball until the NFL's over. So with one more week now, I think that's just one more week lost of college basketball enjoyment. But still get into March and everything. The Cats looked great on, I guess it was Saturday against Kansas at Kansas. Pretty much just ran them out of the gym. So that was nice to see. That team has potential. I feel like we're just super fragile. Meaning, if Oscar Tshiebwe goes down, we're pretty much fucked. I think we could lose maybe someone else, but we're not super deep. I always get on Keon Brooks because he has underperformed, and it looks like he should be able to do pretty much what he did last game. It's like he looks like he should be able to do it, but just never does it. We don't get that consistency from him or like solid play most of the time. So he balled out. Hopefully he can keep that rolling. And then you include in Shaden Sharp. And if they finally play him at any point, that team has a real shot. But I don't think we're super deep. We don't have a true big man outside of Tshiebwe. So he really can't get hurt or we're fucked. I need to knock on wood. Yeah. I'm really not superstitious, but whatever. Knocked on wood. Moving on to, I guess, Louisville basketball. That's what I mean. There's been a lot of sporting things going on. Louisville just last week fired their head coach, Chris Mack, who had a pretty monstrous deal when he first came in. Just never could get it together. It didn't seem like he had the passion anymore. He was just pretty much giving up, I think. So I think it's a mutual agreement is what it came down to. But this is, I guess, where maybe some of my karmic retribution begins. Because, I think I was being pretty fair about it. I'm a Kentucky fan myself, and I don't love seeing Louisville in turmoil by any means. I don't ask it to happen. I'm not preying on Louisville's downfall. You can be good, but I just want Kentucky to be good in the end. But that's not to say it's not funny when shit like this does happen. So it's been kind of a crazy story there. The Louisville sporting program for the past few months. Maybe not months, but weeks at least. And then now Chris Mack's gone. And, hopefully they can come out of the ashes. But anyways, somehow having that mindset must have rubbed off and gave me some bad karmic juju because today, two big things happened today. Tom Brady's retirement. I guess we'll talk a little more about him in a second. But Tom Brady retires. Also now, I saw Brian Flores, who was the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, my NFL team. Yeah, so he is now, I guess he's suing. He put a lawsuit against the NFL saying, I guess pretty much calling on some like racial injustices within the system, pretty much in the hiring process, and goes on to do a bunch of things. But also, this is where it comes to me. The Dolphins, who his former coach was, well, one, he's getting them for some racism things as well. But dude, look at this hire. This is not a laughable situation. I'm only laughing at how he got it from the Giants because of Bill Belichick's fucking leaked tweets. So basically, what happens is Bill Belichick thinks Brian Flores got the job, or he's hearing that. So he approaches Brian Flores via text. Basically just says, "Sounds like you've landed. Congrats." Flores goes, "Did you hear something I didn't hear?" Belichick, "Giants, question mark, exclamation point. And Flores goes, "I interview you on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it." So at this point, it kind of seems like Bill and him are not on the same page, because Bill's getting this he's giving this enthusiasm, which is also a funny thing in itself. Seeing Bill Belichick text like a middle school girl or something. He's just getting all. I was waiting for the emojis, but they never showed up. Anyways, Flores, "I interview on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it." Belichick, "Got it. I hear from Buffalo and the Giants. You're their guy. I hope it works out for you. If you want to. If you want it to." Flores says, "That's definitely what I want. I hope you're right, Coach. Thank you, Coach." Are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian Dabble? Just making sure. And Bill goes, "Sorry, I fucked up." No. Actually, I don't think he said I fucked up. He goes, "I fucked this up." That's what he says. "Sorry, I fucked this up. I double checked and misread the text. I think they're naming Dabble. I'm sorry about that. BB." Bill Belichick and Flores goes, "Thanks, Bill." Oh my God, what a shit show. But that is crazy. Anyways, that's why I was laughing, not because of the situation, because, that's, of course, racism is fucking bad. I think that's obvious. So, then the Dolphins, essentially, they had something in themselves saying it all began basically in Brian Flores' first season, is what they're saying. And this is when we were really shitty. We had not yet drafted Tua. We basically sold the roster. We got rid of why can't I think of his name? He went to Houston. Laramie Tunsil, the bong on draft night guy. But Laramie Tunsil, sending him to the Texans, and we took their picks. Anyways, this is the bad season when we sold ship. Basically, our owner, Stephen Ross, told Brian Flores, apparently, that he would pay him $100,000 for every loss, because we were attempting to tank for Joe Burrow, Tua, or Justin. We ended up with Tua. Probably made the wrong decision, definitely. But anyways, we were trying to tank at that point. We needed a quarterback. That's where we were at as a franchise. So obviously that is cheating. You are not allowed to incentivize losing or legitimately try to lose games. That's just against the integrity of the game. So that could be that has big implications on it. And then there's some more things, but I'm going to stick with the Dolphins here anyway. Oh no, damn it. That's not all it either. I fucking missed this. But apparently as well, think back, and this is where Tom Brady gets back in this. Think back to 2019. Brady just finished his last season with New England. He had not picked a team yet, and so he's a free agent. And apparently there was a surprise meeting with prominent quarterback on yacht. So basically saying that our owner, once again, doing like just some fucking crazy Miami shit. It makes sense. Began to pressure Flores to recruit a prominent quarterback in violation of league tampering rules following the 2019 season. It describes a scene in which Ross allegedly invited Flores to his yacht for a lunch meeting. When Flores arrived, he was informed that the prominent quarterback was also joining the meeting per the suit. Suit, that's it. Prompting Flores to refuse the meeting and leave immediately. And apparently that prominent quarterback was Tom Brady, which, it would have been so painful to see Tom Brady come to the Dolphins. I think I would have legitimately had to, not be a Dolphins fan because it's just I don't know, man. That hurts the spirit. It's how could you even stoop to that? Oh man, I couldn't do it. But good thing we didn't. Maybe the team would have been better, but I just don't think I could have still been a fan at that point. He didn't come. Tom Brady to the Bucs, won a Super Bowl. But Tom Brady, my good friend, who he's remained unnamed since the second episode, and I won't say his name again, or I'll try to remember to not say his name again on here until he actually gets on, which should be soon. And that's something also I want to go into. I haven't been able to have as many people on the podcast lately, so I guess that's maybe why some of the episodes, or I haven't been doing as many episodes, because doing these alone aren't my favorite thing. I'm just talking into a mic, but it's all right. I enjoy doing them, and it allows me to, I guess, kind of think through my thoughts. But I think it's better and more organic when it's going back and forth with some friends of mine or other people. I think that's just the better way to do it there. But, hopefully weather gets better. We have some more people on. I think Mike Meredith, who's been on a couple times, he's, like I said, he's doing school and shit, so I think his classes stop February 27th. I think he actually told me that today. So we'll get him back on, I'm sure. I think he enjoyed it a lot, and I've enjoyed having him on. So we'll do that and everything. And hopefully this nameless man comes on at some point. I think his input would be nice. Basically, we've been going back and forth all day talking about Brady. And, of course, I understand that Brady is the best football player of all time. I'm not going to give this person the benefit and say he's the best team athlete of all time, just because I think there are better. It's funny how you look at it. If you think of just who they were as an athlete, the most prominent ever was Michael Jordan. Just as a market and everything, iconic would be the word. The most iconic athlete of all time would just have to be Michael Jordan. I don't think that's ever going to be beat. I think that's pretty standard there. And then if you look at accolades, look at Bill Russell. He has more rings than he can fit on his fingers. So, and I'm sure you can get arguments for Messi, and then you can always say oh, it's a different sport, it's a different era and time, whatever. I'm giving you football. He's the best football player of all time, but I'm not going to give you the best athlete of all time. But that always hurts as well because I'm a Dolphins fan, and to think that we tried to get him, man, that would have been pretty sad. But all props to Tom Brady. Great career. You're the best football player of all time. Enjoy retirement, man. Kiss your kids on the mouth. I'm just kidding. I'm not a hater, Tom. I promise. Way to go, buddy. I didn't say buddy. I didn't mean that. I take that back. But way to go. But yeah, pretty crazy shit coming out of Miami. I'm all right with it. Not the racism shit, but us getting blown up, maybe. Maybe not blown up. I don't want to leave draft picks. I don't want any of that. Whatever happens, it happens. Maybe it comes to a point where Stephen Ross just has to sell the team and just disappear because let's get rid of him. Let's get some new ownership in there. We haven't been good for so long, so hopefully you can keep most of the team because the team's played pretty well. We just have some pieces we need to build on. We're not where we need to be by any means, but I think it starts with ownership. Get him out of there. Get someone new in. We're supposed to be bringing a new coach in. Get a fresh start. A rebirth only happens after the death, and I think we got to have our death and then basically come back from the ashes like a beautiful phoenix and take the league by storm. That's the goal, at least. But I guess we'll finally move into something that somehow or another I just have not even gotten to yet, and that being the conference championships this week. Um, awesome stuff. We have a Rams Bengals Super Bowl. Excuse me. The Bengals, for one, that's the best thing. The Rams have no fans, but it is at their stadium, and they're a fun team. They also have Matthew Stafford, who I'm sure I've said before has paid the iron price. So I'm happy he's in the Super Bowl. He was in Detroit for so long, such a sad franchise. And it just seems so sad there. It makes me sad thinking about it. Sad colors, like, I don't know, man. Something about it. And it's Detroit. Just apparently they're on the up and up, though, in Detroit. So we'll see. Maybe they can come back. Maybe the goofball can, Jared Goofball can take them to some kind of prominence. I doubt it, but we'll see. So the Rams will be in the Super Bowl. So will the Bengals. The Bengals played the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And I think it's fair to say that this game I was so much more invested in the second game. So, like, time the second game came around, I don't think I really paid that much attention to it. I feel like I was doing something else. I was definitely watching the game a bit, but mostly that Bengals-Chiefs game, I was so excited for that one. The Bengals, I'm not a Bengals fan, but it's been really fun to see that team. And I picked them. That's the funny shit. I picked them when I initially, I guess it was a few episodes ago, maybe 10, on episode 10. Me and Owen did an episode for the national championship game, and we just did our Super Bowl. And I picked the Bengals. He picked the Chiefs. I picked the Bengals. Bengals won it. On my other side, I did have the Packers though, so that tells you what I know. But the Bengals, yeah, they won, and they're going to be in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow is also one of the most likable players in the NFL. He's just got kind of some goofball swag to him, but he's got like real swag too, if that makes any sense. Jamar Chase didn't do oh, no, that's in Russian. Jamar Chase, 6 yards, 54 receiving yards. And he big bullied that one dude in the end zone after he was talking shit the play before. I don't know who their defender was, the cornerback at least. But Jamar Chase played well. Samaje Perine, that play was really tight. And Joe Burrow, some of the sacks he evaded were pretty wild. Patrick Mahomes. Also, what's fun about watching the Bengals, man, is Eli Apple. Have y'all seen the memes? They have these memes where they literally just like, or montages as well, of Eli Apple just getting burnt over and over again because he's just, I guess, a notoriously bad coverage guy. And they also had that one where it's like this girl standing all, I don't know, she's standing like provocatively but low-key looks like a football like wide receiver stance is like how wide receivers line up when they see Eli Apple on them. Anyways, if you can't see the tweet, maybe you can imagine it. If not, maybe you could just look it up because I'm sure that's findable by something I said in there. Eli Apple probably. But that offense, CJ Uzama got hurt too, but it looks like he may be able to play. So that'll be good to have them back and everything. T. Higgins went off 6 yards for 103 yards. Joe Burrow didn't have the best game. Had a really good game, and like I guess when you factor in the running and stuff, he had 5 carries for 25 yards, and he was just making plays, man. Be truthful, but that defense needs a lot of credit because they held the Chiefs to 3 points in the second half. That's ridiculous. But Joe Burrow, 23 of 38, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes played pretty well. He had 2 interceptions, though, which ended up really affecting the game. He was 26 of 39 for 275, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. We were big time hating on the Chiefs the whole entire time. To be honest, I don't know if any of y'all are Chiefs fans, but we were big time hating on them the whole time. And I think you're allowed to do that when a team becomes like that good. You know, it was the Patriots at one point. The Chiefs are kind of that at that point right now in the AFC. They've been to 4 conference championships in a row. So and they've won 2 of them. They just lost this one, so they're 2-2 at this point. Because Joe Burr came in there to Arrowhead and brought the Bengals to victory. And that McPherson, dude, that whole like, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship quote. That's badass. So a very likable team in Cincinnati. The Chiefs, fuck you guys. No one likes you. So I think everyone was pretty happy to see that win. The Warriors were definitely like that too. That was some bullshit. So I guess into the second game, LA Rams, 49ers. Good for Sam Bradford. I really don't remember a ton of this game. Cooper Kupp is just having the best receiving year of all time. He's just I don't even understand it. He's ridiculous. 11 receptions, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Odell, they got him playing well. He has 9 receptions for 113 yards. This game is going to be scary for Joe Burrow. You have Von Miller, who, he's old, but he's definitely viable. And then, you have Aaron Donald, and you have Jalen Ramsey. Dude, oh, man. It's going to be scary for Joe Burrow because against the Titans, they gave up 9 sacks, and Joe Burrow somehow did it. I think that's gonna be the biggest factor in this game. Maybe I should talk a little more about the first game. But 17-20, Jimmy Garoppolo, 16-30, 232, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Deebo Samuel, very unique season in itself. I think he had 1,500 receiving yards and then like 500 rushing yards, including the playoffs. So crazy year from Deebo. We were having an argument with our friends. It wasn't a super big argument, but Deebo or Odell, because we were kind of clowning Odell for coming over to Deebo like he was the godfather or something and like comforting him. Like Deebo just had a better season than you have ever had, Odell. I know Odell was a problem for like 3 years, but he fell off super hard. They call him O-Fell. Yeah, but Odell, he has it, and Cleveland, that was just kind of a nasty situation. He got hurt here and there, but anyways, I'm just saying Deebo had a better season than Odell ever had, and Deebo, of course, has to keep it up to be better than him, but that was a better peak than Odell had ever had. But pretty much that was it. This game, I didn't watch a lot. I said that already. But going forward, now we'll move into it a little more. Damn it, I'm going to backtrack again. Did y'all see the that bet that one guy had? He had the exact score of the playoff game. So he had Bengals Chiefs 27-24 Bengals, and then he also had the Rams 20 49ers 17. It was a $20 bet, I believe, and made out with like $500,000. So $500,000 for a $20 bet. He just guessed the exact score. Oh my God, what a come up. I need that shit to happen. Pray for me. Pray for me for that to happen to me. That would be fucking awesome. You know what? I'll pray for you all too. So that happens to you all. But anyways, that's crazy. That's some crazy shit. Good for that guy. Way to go. I'm really fucking jealous. Now we'll move on into the championship game. So this is the Rams, Matthew Stafford and the Rams, and Aaron Donald and the Rams, into the Bengals and Joe Burrow. I fumbled the hell out of that. But anyways, very interesting Super Bowl to say the least. Bengals, Rams. I got into it early a little prematurely. I pre-jacked, but the defensive line for the Rams are going to be a massive factor because the Bengals do not have a very great offensive line. it's going to be scary for Joe Burrow. I'm trying to see how many times he got sacked against the Chiefs here. I'm honestly not seeing it, but I don't know how many times. He got sacked 9 times against the Titans, so I would suspect that Joe Burrow got sacked at least once in that last game. Anyways, it's going to be a massive factor in this game, obviously, because Aaron Donald is still probably the best football player in the NFL. He's just absolutely ridiculous. What he does at a D tackle position, just ridiculously strong. So, they're going to get through. This is my prediction. They're going to get through. Joe Burrow might get sacked a couple times. He might get sacked a lot of times. But we've seen it, baby. He can get sacked as many times as he fucking wants or doesn't want. He got sacked 9 times against the Titans. He still won that. So, I'm going to go with the Bengals Super Bowl. I'm going to stick with the boys who I did predict at the very beginning of the playoffs would be in the Super Bowl. So, that's pretty cool. I did not pick them to win. Damn it. Those fucking Packers, man. I'll never bet on them again. I'll never do it. But anyways, I'm taking the Bengals over the Rams. I'm sorry, Matthew Stafford. You deserve it too. But man, that's kind of how it's fallen. I'm gonna go with the magic in the bottle. I'm gonna stick it with it. It wouldn't feel right if I didn't continue with the Bengals. So I'm gonna take the Bengals in this Super Bowl. And I need to get a Bovada account open like ASAP because I think I actually do want to bet on this one. I'm gonna throw some money on the Bengals. I think that's fun. Tapped out of the game a while back, so I think I'm ready to get back into it and everything. But anyways, that's pretty much about it. We got a lot of shit developing with the Dolphins. Maybe we'll be rising from ashes. I guess we have to die first, so we'll see how we die or if we die. Whatever, all those kinds of things. Hopefully we can get some more episodes going soon. We got some basketball I guess we can talk about once the NFL season is over and I can fully dive into that. Touched on it briefly today, but not fully. And hopefully we can get someone on for that because, Connor's a Louisville fan. I plan to have him on for, I guess, to talk about the whole Louisville situation because I haven't paid that much attention to it. I just saw Chris Mack get fired and then the hiring process, I don't know yet. All that Bruce Pearl shit was started coming out, but doesn't seem like that's happening either. So I guess we'll see what happens with a lot of things. A lot of shit's going on. We have the Super Bowl, not this upcoming Sunday, but I believe next Sunday. And I'm going to take the Bengals going into SoFi Stadium, the home stadium of the Rams who don't have fans. I'm going to have them win it. Should I predict a score just in spirit of this last man who just won $500,000? Sure. Let's think about it. I'm going to go with a 31 Bengals, a 28 Rams. 3-point victory for the Bengals. McPherson getting it done again, kicking a game-winning field goal, as many of these games have ended on in this playoff. But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Yeah, we're gonna get some more. We're gonna get some more going. Me and my girlfriend are finishing up Harry Potter. She's never seen it before. I guess the whole series through, so maybe we'll get something going, a little Harry Potter episode sometime here soon. I've been reading the books. I'm actually on the second one at this point, The Chamber of Secrets, and I'm in a decent clip. I got a little bit to go, but I'm about 100 pages in that one. So, doing some fun things, having some fun, staying out of the cold for the most part. Nice day today, maybe some ice tomorrow, but who knows? It's been great talking with y'all. It's been great to be back on the mic. Thank you all for listening. You're beautiful people. I love you. Purple Podcast, episode 12.